Jose Prats, welcome to the Forward One podcast.
Woo! Oh, thank you for having me.
Grateful to have you here, a real rock star. We're excited to share your wisdom, your journey, and a lot of amazing lessons to share with the group. So why don't you kick us off by just telling us a little bit about how you got into real estate?
Yeah. So it's been 10 years now? Well, I'm always trying to go back. 2010. No, 15. Wow.
15 years.
Fast.
Where does the time go?
Right. So I started originally getting real estate to build wealth. And along the way, I fell in love with the beautiful architecture we have in LA. I think we have some of the best in the world, at least for residential. I started working as an assistant for a top producer on the West Side. Then I went on to work mid-city with investors to get that mindset of how investors are getting property, going door to door. And then getting into my self-investment, flipped a few homes and really getting the knowledge of what it takes to construct a good quality home. So now going into inspections and whatever, or finding value-add properties for my clients, I could really tell what's important and what's needed to get something done. And then, now helping clients find those special properties, specifically Spanish homes. That's some of my favorite homes, but character homes in general, that's what I think is really valuable.
And Character Homes is your brand, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm director of Character Homes, and I really enjoy those properties and seeing them and finding them, and I think that they stand out right now. I think when you're looking at property, homes with good architecture, good bones, as we hear a lot.
They're outliers.
They're outliers, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
I happen to live in one, so I can appreciate it.
Oh, nice. The Spanish?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 15 years ago, did you start off out of the gate knowing this is what I want to do as a career? Or did it take a few years to come to that realization? When did you go all in?
He's a serial entrepreneur, right? I mean, it's in your blood. You did several things before that.
Yeah, enduring, right?
Enduring,
yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. So when did real estate become the pure focus? And then what Joey just said, the serial entrepreneur, tell us a little bit about that and how that plays into your real estate career.
Yeah, it was in the mindset of, getting to the next level, creating wealth. You kind of have to figure it out on your own. Luckily for me, my wife has been my partner throughout all this, since I've moved to LA. So we've built everything together. We we created a bike shop known as Adopt a Bike along the way. So we restored vintage road bikes from the 70s and 80s.
Wow.
We'd buy them a pretty good price and put a little work into them and sell them. And it was a really profitable business. And that helped actually launch that in real estate, helped us launch into flipping homes. So renovating homes, kind of financing that. And
so when you got into real estate, did you still have the bike business, or were you sort of parallel doing both, or was it turn off one and start another?
Because as you know, when you get into real estate, there's not immediate income, right?
Yep.
I was an assistant, so I did have some income there, but it was just enough. You need more to kind of get going. And also seeing people renovate and flip homes, I'm like, well, you need some bankroll to do that, and consistent income, right? So you can get loans, right? Because all the flips I did, I never did hard money. We were doing traditional financing. So to do that, you have to make some money. So that's where the idea to get into the bikes was to help finance for that endeavor.
So you started real estate 15 years ago in terms of brokerage. Mm-hmm. When did you begin to flip homes?
Oh, so I started flipping. That was in 2014. Yeah. So the West Adams area. Okay. So it was a very up and coming area then. I know people still say that now, but I'm like, it's been
you
that
were
way.
Pioneering,
right?
For sure.
Yeah. Because I think in LA real estate, it's very street by street. And also by feel. Like you can drive down a neighborhood or street and you're like, wow, like these are charming homes. Like, I really saw something there. And we took our first property in 2014. We bought it at $395,000. At $395K. We put in just under $100K of money into it, upgrades.
Yep.
And we ended up selling for just under $800,000.
Wow.
In under a year. Yeah.
And you did all the work. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it was a lot of DIY, but I did work with some professionals, right? For like foundation, for example, So we worked with Foundation Works back then, and they really helped because we had some serious foundation issues there. We worked with the roofer, but other than that, we were doing a lot of the.
So it's
installs
largely
on-
self-education in terms of like, did you have previous experience? That says a lot about your mindset, your entrepreneur spirit. Like, tell us what you did to prepare for that kind of investment.
Yeah, when I get in my head, I want to do something, I go crazy on research. And, that was the YouTube era, right? That's when YouTube was just around and you could find anything on there. So I loved researching, doing stuff myself. But I did grow up, my dad's an aerospace engineer, fixing everything himself at home, cars, the house. So I was always by his side, learning a lot. So I had that
fear around like taking things apart, to learning a process to.
That's interesting because that's unique in and of itself for sure.
Like my dad, he would tell me all the time in high school, he would just take a car that had no problems with it. He would take it completely apart to the tiniest pieces and put it back together.
Wow.
So knowing that's possible, you get in your head, I guess, obviously.
That's a
1,000-piece
jigsaw puzzle on steroids.
Exactly.
We joke about that in another context about how someone we know took apart a business and with the expectation that they put it all back together again. And quite frankly, never did. And very few people ever do. Right. When they do something akin to that, It sounds good and cool from a distance. And then the reality of actually doing it and putting it all back together again takes a special person, a certain level of resilience and know-how and knowledge to make that happen, and passion for sure. And just a work ethic.
Well, and it's interesting that that was a gift that Jose's father gave him, that understanding that you can he demystified the automobile for him, right?
Yeah.
Took it apart, put it back together again. And even if you just watched it and had no interest in it yourself, you learned the sequence of success in a way.
Yeah, and just the mindset that it can be done.
Yes. Yeah, what's possible.
Right, what's possible, exactly.
Yeah. That's our biggest, most people block, right? Is like not knowing like we're like limitless, right? Even the human body, what the human body can do and what you can do through hard work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So coming full circle, so you just did a ton of preparation. You brought in certain people in their specialty, but you were the quarterback, so to speak. You were the GC. Were you literally the GC for that project?
Yeah, homeowner builder.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I think, I guess getting back to getting into something, that's when I was getting into the bikes to get into real estate. It was like, oh, well, this is a much more simpler machine than a car. So it was like very basic engineering. So again,
quickly replicatable.
Yeah. And again, we had great tools. What I was new to LA. What I loved about LA was you have something called the bike kitchen. They're called bike churches. Have you heard of these?
Yeah.
No.
Or they're nonprofits. You could take a bike in there. They have all the tools and parts and they teach you how to repair them. So I would bring one in at a time, learn, fix it up. Then I go sell it. Then I bring another one and learn. Yeah. And then eventually I got enough knowledge where I'm like, oh, this is pretty simple. I know the whole system, bought my own tools, do it at home. And then that's how the shop was created.
I love it.
Yeah.
Was it seeded in any like experience you had as a child? I guess you go to the car, but did you have any interest in taking stuff apart and putting them back together again? Or was that like something you viewed from your father?
Yeah, like I built my own computer in high school. Like, you know what I mean? Like I built one from scratch.
Yeah.
And to get the funds to do that, I did, again, I had a very small allowance. So I would invest in the stock market. So I invested in the stock market to accrue enough money, and then I would be able to build a computer.
Yeah.
So
definitely the entrepreneurial spirit.
We all want our kids to have that, right?
Yeah. Yep. So you did that first flip very successfully. What were your like big takeaways from that? And then what was sort of next in that realm of the business?
So biggest takeaway from the bike business?
No, the flipping.
Experience.
Yeah. Biggest takeaway was, I guess, creating, adding value, finding properties that people aren't buying, where you can add value, and then make some money along the way. And then doing it with homes that we lived in too, right? Yeah. So that the risk on the finance side is not so high, right? Because you're in the home, you have safe financing, because I see right now today, a big issue with a lot of investors is that hard money loan.
The cost of money.
Yeah. Wow. And it's very high, right?
It's prohibitive.
Yeah. And a lot of times it gets in the way of any profit.
Sure.
Or yeah.
That coupled with access to materials,
Oh my
timeline,
gosh.
bureaucratic timelines, all of that makes you money, and all of that costs you money, right?
Yeah. So
And so you went on to flip several more, and are you still active in that world?
Not so much. We're thinking of getting back into it. We did. Let's see. I did 3 in total. I'm living in my 4th. That was going to be a flip, but we've decided to stay there. 1930 Spanish. It's on a big lot, just under 10,000 square feet.
Nice.
Fell in love with it. And it's, in our favorite neighborhood, West Adams.
And that's where you live?
That's where we live now. So
Okay.
we've restored that one. But
Okay.
again, it's a longer project. But we really enjoy it how it is now. And it's a 2-bed. And I know a lot of people are like 2 kids and a 2-bed. I don't know. It works for us. 1,500 square feet. We'll do addition eventually, but we
And a 10,000 square foot lot. No additional structures on the property.
a garage, but room for an ADU. So I think a big value now is if you can get an ADU and a garage, that's huge. So that's what we'll look to do down the line.
Very
Excellent.
cool. So you were doing that as you were doing the brokerage business, right? So give us a little bit more of the evolution of the brokerage business to where you are now. So like, how has your business evolved? How did you get your first deal?
Yeah. First deal was with the legendary Bob Zay as my mentor. Yeah. Joey knows well. It was when we were I was at Keller Williams with you.
Yep.
Yeah. And Bob was old school. So he had us door knocking. Yeah. So I was door knocking,
In your area still, West Adams?
Yeah, Mid City at the time.
Mid-City.
But I was door knocking all over, but specifically, Mid City, West Adams area. And this is actually while I was buying my property too. So how many doors? I must have hit 70 doors before I got someone ready to list their property.
That's crazy unicorn stuff, right? Like that doesn't happen in real life.
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
Right. Most people, it takes far more than 70 doors to get your first
Hundreds,
transaction.
thousands.
Yeah.
So your 70th sort of door knock.
Yeah. And it's just being, what I built my business on is being authentic and real and just telling them, hey, I'm new to real estate, but I have a mentor who has, I forgot at the time, 30, 40 plus years experience.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, love to list your property. And, we scheduled an appointment and Bob came and we showed him how we're going to help. And, we did. We ended up helping him, sell that property. Yeah.
What kind of price point?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. That's a great question. No. It was near the freeway, near the 10 freeway.
Yep.
I think it must have been close to the price of my house, right? At that time, like 300-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
400-ish. Yeah. Around there.
So that was your first deal.
Spanish too.
And that was how deep into your brokerage career? How long had you been licensed?
At that point I had been licensed. So because I was assistant for the first couple of years, so I guess I was licensed for at least 3-4 years at that point. Yeah.
But
it was his first year
license,
of practicing.
right? First year then really of out of the assistant role.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And I did have some segues. You were saying serial entrepreneur. Like after the assistant role, I segued a little bit into the commercial pastry business. So I did a crash course on becoming a pastry chef in New York to do pastries out here for hotels, wholesale.
Wow.
Did not like that.
Was it the early mornings or the?
It was just like 20 hours in the kitchen.
Yeah. You have to love it, Jose.
Yeah. And I'm like, I didn't like it, but it was really interesting about learning, because I was going to have a percentage of the business and learning about, I guess potential in business and what's worth it and what's important. And I learned there, if you don't like the grind, you're not going to like the job, right?
It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Did you also have a mentor in that? Because I'm seeing like a reoccurring theme in the way you approach a new opportunity is, you want to watch somebody who's good at it, do it. Then you want to kind of have them watch you do it. And then you want to go out and do it. Right.
Yeah.
So you did the bike, you went and watched the church.
Model someone else who's done it before.
Right. Right. Yeah, exactly. The pastry one was interesting. So prior going into, prior to moving to LA, my wife is Polish. So
Yes.
I lived in Poland for 6 months, and out there, she was the head of a staffing agency, and the owner was American, and he was launching the pastry business out here in LA. So that's where I met him out there. He had talked about it, and I'd met him, and I thought he'd be great to work with, and then he hooked me up with a Hungarian pastry chef. Who trained in New York, and he was amazing. Yeah. So I did learn under someone's tutelage and expertise, and it was really cool. But it was a cool experience because I still took a lot from that.
Yeah.
Because I was a horrible cook before that. Yeah.
And the ultimate takeaway though was like, you weren't passionate about it, and passion drives consistency and sustainability.
Absolutely. Cooking's not for me. I don't want to be in the kitchen all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to look at, because I've had several business opportunities since then. Like, do you like that industry? Do you like to do that data? I know it sounds basic, but some people skip that and we just look at the end goal, right?
I'm a huge believer in the process, right?
Yes,
don't focus on the outcome, focus on the process. Obviously you want to have goals and expectations, right? You're striving for something, but if you're not enjoying the journey, then what's it all about? Because great success takes time. It's always about playing the long game.
Also like doing every part of the job.
Yeah.
Right. Like he did every part of the job. I guess the idea was at some point or another, you wouldn't be baking every day, that you would elevate into some kind of sales position and then elevate into some kind of managerial position as the business expanded. You didn't let it get that far, but knowing all the pieces of the business. You worked as an assistant for 2 years before you went out on your own in real estate, and then you partnered, or you surrounded yourself with someone who was doing what you were interested in. At the brokerage that you went to, right? She did a lot of flips. She did a lot of TICs, all kinds of things, right? She was engaged in a very tactile way in the business that you were interested in. And so you were attracted to that, to get close to it, to see how it's done, to see how
inspect what you expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
If I'm doing something, I want to do it at a very high level, right? And know like everything about it.
And therefore you can hold those that you delegate to accountable to actually doing it the right way, because you've done it before and you know what that looks like.
Right.
Every piece of it.
Yeah.
And a big practice what you preach guy.
Yeah.
Like when doing homes, I got over years of doing those flips, I got a really good crew, vendors. And it was through going through some really bad vendors and spotting them. And, I've had stories where I was working on a property and I bring in someone to help like demo a ceiling, right? And they were just moving so slow. And I'm like, oh, this is so hard. I'm like, give me that. So I just started working. I work right beside them. And I found the best way to see if someone was any good is I'm going to work beside them. If they can keep up with me, they're going to be good.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they'd be like, oh, wow. Like one guy, my wife remembers, she goes, oh, your husband works really hard. Like, yeah. And he's just sitting there taking he took a break.
Yeah. They're not used to that.
No.
That's cool. It's going to go one of two ways, right? They're going to dip and take advantage of you doing their work, or they're going to be inspired to step up with someone who's willing to do the hard work also. Yeah.
And they'll respect you for it. Like my go-to.
Absolutely.
My go-to contractor right now, it was on my third house. I said, I'm going to be your helper. I want to make sure you're here getting it done. And we're doing a good job. He would mark the wood and I would, measure it and cut it, right? Boom, frame it, measure, cut it, move, right? And, now he's got a really big construction crew. He's done really successful and, he still remembers and respects that.
He's grown. You've grown.
Exactly. And he really we respect like each other on that, and we're there for each other when needed.
Love it.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, so the audience can give us a sense of where you are now. What does your Character Homes team look like, and what level of annual business do you do? And then we can so people have a context to who we're speaking with.
So how big is the team? So right now we have 5 agents on the team. And we're covering, a wide range. We don't specify in a geographical area, right? We specify in the home, right? That's our specialty.
Yeah.
And we're also getting a mass reach through social media.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's our big benefit. All the followers on me and people on my team, we have over 250,000 people following. We're getting millions of engagement monthly.
Yeah.
So
What's
our
your
bread and butter.
annual productivity roughly? I know
Annual productivity is right now like 45 to 50 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
So over $1 million in gross commission.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. I do the math. That equates.
Yeah.
So let's come back to the social media piece, because that's a big point of distinction in your business model. So tell us a little bit more about those 250,000 followers and how you built that, and what does that actually mean for your business? How is that helping you grow and evolve, and how has it helped you grow and evolve?
Yeah, I mean, it's bringing in 80% of my business is people seeing me on social media.
80%.
80%.
Wow.
I'm getting
amazing.
Constant outreach. And now it's a brand that's been built on there. So, I have someone recently I reached out on a very unique property, 5 million plus, in a neighborhood that typically doesn't have that property sale, and they want someone. They reach out to me because the house is a character rich home, and they know that I have the audience to get it done. So that's the call I get. I know very unique property, very high price point in an area you don't typically see, and I know you have that unique audience to reach them. And it's true, because we built an organic audience, so the reach is easy to tell. You can go on our page and you can see how many people are commenting, liking. It's real, because a big thing we see now in real estate, I'm sure you see it, is a lot of fake followers, right? A lot of fake reach. And it can be really hard for people to identify that if you're not familiar with social media.
Yeah.
So we kind of try to educate people on that too. Like, look and see if they're actually really,
So what when you say that, what platforms are you focused on within social media?
So Instagram is the one we always, the one we did originally the best on from the beginning.
Okay.
So that's number one. TikTok is number two. It's
really?
Yeah.
TikTok instead of YouTube.
Yeah. Well, YouTube's more recent, so we've been building the following there.
I see you on YouTube.
Yeah, but if you look at the follower count, it's less than TikTok. But I think it's higher in quality of leads and people really getting the brand.
YouTube.
Because we're getting more screen time now. Right, because YouTube, we all know TikTok, Instagram, right? Shorter times, right?
Yeah.
And on YouTube, I'm doing guided tours, but I'm doing it in a very not high production form, so it's very authentic,
lo-fi,
and real. Yeah, and people are telling me they feel like they're at the property, or they're getting in on a secret tour that you wouldn't otherwise get. And I'm talking the whole time, so that I get to share more of my knowledge of the home and character and construction and what you can do. So yeah, it's really great. I'm really enjoying doing the YouTube.
You're super authentic and passionate about the homes that you present, and I'm not surprised that people feel comfortable to kind of subscribe, that they're not going to get bombarded with some information they don't want or the such. They trust you. You have a very trustworthy vibe.
So tell me, because I think
Thank you.
a couple things that really struck me. One is, when did you recognize that social media was such a strong driver? Like, when did you start to build that with intention?
Great question.
So you have the 250,000 followers. When did that journey begin?
Yeah, it was during the pandemic, a great reset for many, right? And we wanted to kind of pick up the real estate business on the brokerage side. So we started deciding what can we gravitate toward, So I started gravitating toward things I love, Spanish homes, good architecture.
So character homes began concurrently with the social media piece. Is that what I'm
Correct.
hearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I kind of I've loved those homes, and it's what has drawn me to keep coming back to them.
Yep.
As I said, my first house I sold was a Spanish, and my first house I bought was a Tudor, right? A storybook. So I had very character rich.
Yep.
So finding like what those things are and like how it works, it came through character homes, but seeing on social media that people really loved them too. Because, we're also at that point, 2020, coming in an era where it was just modern boxes, right? That's the term I hear all the time now.
Yeah.
It was the fashion.
Yeah.
It was a fashion, right?
Yeah.
It's no longer the fashion.
It's no longer the fashion.
It's no longer the fashion, but they exist. And
Yeah.
the resale on them is really tough, but.
Yeah, because people love the minimal design, right? Left over from the mid-century era. And then I think investors realized that's a cheaper thing to do.
Oh, for sure. That's for sure.
Right? Those are the main reasons it got so prevalent.
It's replicatable.
Yeah. And then over-replicatable.
No crown moldings.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
No anything, right?
Yeah.
No
just
character.
No character. Yeah.
Right. Now not so desirable.
Exactly.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it was of that time, it was a perfect time to start, because people, we're seeing that and gravitating toward it. And
Yeah.
the algorithm was telling us the truth, right? That people like that. So it was something to work with there.
Yeah.
And it's very smart and visionary for you. It's a great way to just reach your audience during the pandemic, juxtapose with how do I distinguish myself and brand myself with something I'm passionate about. And that's when it all began.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so tell us a couple things for those that, everyone loves social media. Everyone talks about social media. Very few agents drive meaningful business on social media. It's part of their brand, but it's not necessarily something that generates business. So when you said 80%, it sounds like you really track that. So tell us a little bit more on how it evolved and how do you know 80% of the business comes from social media?
Yeah, I just try to be conservative. It's probably higher, to be honest, because when people are reaching out to me, they're telling me like almost all the time that it's because of social media, right? And that if it's not because of social media, it's because of business that I got from social media and a referral from there. Yeah. So I still think that tracks. But that's really interesting because before it was hard for people to get engagement as realtors on social media, right? That was a real hard part. Yeah. Now I'm seeing that there are other realtors having good success, but the business is not following.
There's one thing is engagement.
Right.
It's another thing is conversion into business. I
Yep.
mean, we know a couple really great social media influencers in real estate sector that tell a great story, but it does not equivocate to
generating
sales.
leads.
Yeah.
Sales.
Right.
A sale.
Just a couple of things. There's experience, right? We just went through kind of quickly, and some of my experience I had in real estate. And a lot of those agents don't have that, right? Sure. They're newer to it. So you can get those maybe calls or leads and then just not know how to convert them or have the, I guess, information or knowledge to like help them, right? Because that's our job is essentially we're helping. Yeah.
And your content has an evergreen aspect to it too. It's not about the market right now. It's not about a change in the process. It's about beautiful homes, about telling stories about beautiful homes and the visual and the narratives around that.
Yeah.
So it really does delineate you in a way that allows that information to just be perpetual for a longer period of time. And that's really great for social media.
What does the content plan and schedule broadly look like? It's like help our audience understand.
How many posts a week? How many? You try to tell a story a week. You try to.
Well, before I dive in, I want to circle back into why some agents are converting. Because again, some of them aren't even getting those calls. They're getting the engagement, but they're not getting the calls for the help.
Absolutely.
So it's a combination of you want to post. Obviously, you would love to get great engagement, but you also want to make sure it's not at a sacrifice to your brand, to how you can help as a realtor, Like I see a lot of like real estate humor, but I think a lot of times they're doing it at a cost to themselves, and I'm like
of professionalism of
nice place to visit. I don't want to live there.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
You know what I mean? So I think you got to be really careful about what you're putting out there is authentic to you, but it also is beneficial to show people how you can actually help them.
What do you stay away from, or what do you make sure you add in?
So again, I mentioned humor. Like that's a big segment of social media is people doing humor. I try not to do it because I don't know, maybe I'm not that funny, but B, I never want to do it as a detriment to like making myself look stupid or something. I'm like, that's not helping anyone.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, but like the stereotypical is, the sort of eye candy element of social media. And is that actually doing anything to earn them business? No. And is it actually perhaps deterring business? Perhaps yes. And that's the point you're making. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or speaking of flashy, I think it's very common for realtors to kind of brag or show off too much. Yeah. And that does not come off well. So I'm always hesitant to do that. I try not to share numbers that I do or too much because A, people don't care. Right. And then B, you don't want to come off like you're showboating. Yeah. No one likes that. Right.
Yeah. Both of those things do not instill trust or buy-in from potential clients.
Right. Yeah. Again, my goal, of course, is to is trying to help provide service And how can we do that?
Yeah.
But also, when you're posting, work on your brand, right? What are you trying to tell about yourself? So for me, it's not just about houses. I talk about my family in there. We just got a new kitten. Talk about the kitten.
Yeah.
Shout out Mochi. But you want to show a little bit about yourself too, because people want to work not just with Jose the realtor, but Jose the person, right? They want you want to
know, like, and trust, and have common values, and want to know what your world looks like outside of real estate, so they know if they can relate to you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's where people miss, right? A lot of realtors, they're getting engagement, they're getting all that, but I don't think they're getting the full. They're not branding themselves, I think, how they could, right?
I wanted to ask a question. Is there any system in there in that conversion process? Is there any, or is it just, hey, Jose, I saw you on social media. I love your vibe. I have a character home that I think is a character home. I'd love for you to sell it. Well,
is there a call to action? Is there maybe another way to ask that?
Yeah, call to action, or like, do you put them in? Do you start databasing people, and do they receive any other touches from you outside of the social media framework?
Yeah, well, you want to be available. You want to let people know that you are available for them. So we mention in a lot of our captions that we can, we're available by phone. We can do a Zoom. That's a great way to meet with clients. I mean, I can't count on the time in my hands where I've had clients meet in person for a first time, like at the office. It's usually Zoom for me now. Yeah. I probably had, just a handful in the last couple of years. So again, we're having the Zooms is a great, easy way for people to schedule time to talk and see if we can work together, if we click.
Yeah.
So that's very helpful.
So there's been many Zoom calls directly from, or as a result of social media.
Oh, absolutely.
Where you knew no one.
Hundreds. Yeah.
So it's been a clear lead generator, and you're asking and tracking that. That's why I want to, how do you know that quantification? When you said 80%, how do you know that that's the case?
Yeah. Well, I mean, probably like in 2021, because it was the height of the pandemic.
Yeah.
I must have, I didn't get the exact number, but I did at least 200 Zooms,
Directly from social media.
Directly. Yeah. That's the only way.
Clients,
brand new
opportunities.
Yeah. And it was a great way for me to learn, how to connect with people on social media, how to help them, how to get the right information from them so I can help them.
Some skills.
Yes. So there was a system developed where it is very easy to tell if we're going to work well together. If I can help you, and then great, here's the next step. So there definitely is a way to do that.
Was there a breakdown between buyers and sellers in that?
Early on, it started primarily buyers. Yeah. And then in the years following is slowly now 50-50.
Sure.
50% sellers.
Buyers are coming back.
Buyers coming
back to sell the properties into
that
their
too.
next.
But I mean, brand new clients from social media that are sellers.
Wow.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this. So obviously part of that is the day and time, like 2021, 2020, of course, things, very robust market. And, you weren't meeting people nearly as readily in person. So that was part of it. Now, if you come full circle, like in the last year, the new business, is it still largely social media? I'm sure there's a lot of repeat and referral because you're a great guy and you do a great job and you do a big business, but you're still generating a lot of the business through social media?
Yeah, still largely through social media. Yeah. But it's just the way people see me and have access to me. And, I feel now, we're having a lot of, I guess, newer or sellers right now that need to sell. Yeah. Right. And they're going to people they know and trust. And, I'm always grateful to get that call.
How are you tracking? So you put out a post, you put out a video, most of it's video. Is that correct?
I would say it's closer to, maybe it's like 60% video, 40% carousel. If you want to get into the nitty gritty of Instagram, right? Like what's working, what's not. Carousel for us has been working more
than video.
Than real. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not every account's the same.
The algorithm loves Carousel.
Yeah.
Okay. They're trying to promote it.
They are. And,
right now.
I was fortunate to get that call from Meta, and they went over our account and what we can do. It was really cool. It was something they were doing with small creators. I don't know if you talked about it here before. Yeah. So I had that call, and it was really interesting to see what they want us to do and what is working. And for us, Carousel is really working.
Interesting.
But they're telling us the reels, should be working for us too.
Yeah.
So we've been playing around with trial reels lately.
Okay.
And seeing how those work. And those are kind of interesting how you can test. So you guys familiar with trial reels? So on a trial reel, you can put something out there where it doesn't go to your audience. It goes out to everyone but your audience.
Interesting.
So
everyone but your followers.
Followers, sorry. Yeah. So it goes out, and if it does really well, then you can make it a post on your account. If not, you can just keep them there running.
Interesting.
And they just sit there, like no one would know that's following you, that it's your post.
Yeah.
Just the people that have seen it. And it's really
it's more TikTokifying, is that right? I mean, to some degree, right? Okay.
No, it's great. Yeah. It's a great comparison, right? Because TikTok is known for.
Right. I'm not even on TikTok, but I know enough to know that. Right. Yeah.
That's why TikTok is so dynamic, because it pushes it out all the time to new people.
Yep.
It kind of rarely gets to your followers, which is its own weird thing.
Interesting.
But it's great. And we've had people on our team using that, really successfully.
Okay.
Where they're.
I have to try that.
Yeah. Well, it's also a great way if you want to batch content.
Yep.
Put a bunch of reels out there at once.
Yep.
And then come back in like a week or 2 weeks, and then one of them shoots up. And it has way more views.
Cherry pick the
interesting.
And then you throw that on to your feed.
Yep.
And boom, now you have your next viral video.
So how do you, when you make a post, whether it's a carousel or a reel, tell us a little bit more specifically on how you're tracking engagement and how you're tracking, like, are people DMing you? Like, give us more specificity on how you're systematically using that to generate business.
Yeah. At the beginning, we were just looking at follower count growing.
Yep.
Now, we've noticed our follower count's not shooting up drastically, because we're now focusing on posts that get, real engagement, buyers and sellers. So, we're looking for when real people reach out, what are we posting? What are we doing? And then let's keep doing that.
So in other words, just very simple from what I'm hearing, is that therefore when you make a post, they're gonna either call you or DM you, and that's it. It's pretty straightforward.
Or email,
Okay. Yeah.
So we're noticing that when we're,
but you're not watching something to then go back and follow up with them. They're coming to you from that post.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not like cold DMing or anything.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, it's all outreach, directly to us.
Directly from.
Yep.
They drive to your website.
Yeah. Some go through the website.
Okay.
Some go direct DM. Some email, some call. It's a mix, some text.
And there's one that's usually prevalent over the other, per what you just said, whether it's.
DM is the most common because it's easiest, right? But we're noticing that when our engagement is high, between 1 to 2 million people per month, that we're getting a lot of calls. We're getting, calls, text, emails from clients to work with them.
What are your
directly tied?
What are your numbers on Instagram? Like, what is, how many followers and some of your bigger
So we have
posts?
several accounts. So our main account on Instagram has 116,000. And the character homes, I keep losing track, keep shooting up, is over 27,000. And we have members on our team that are over 100,000. That we found that synergy of everyone reposting, sharing has really bolsters the team.
Are they reposting or posting your content additionally?
Yeah, because we share content across, right, with the team. So video content, photos that gets shared. Another great new feature, I don't know if you're using on Instagram, is reposts.
Yeah.
Are you using it? Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
I do it all the time.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it.
Okay.
Repost what you like, right? Repost things you like again and you'll see that the engagement follows. People really love to see. They're interested to see what you're grabbing. What's your inspiration, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
I think I've reposted 1 or 2 of yours actually.
Oh, nice.
Thank
you. Yeah. So when you see a new feature on Instagram, got to run with it, right? I know you've heard that all the time, but it's true
because they want it used. That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
So they're going to reward you for using a new product.
Yeah, it makes sense, right?
Yeah. So doing over $1 million in gross commission, $50 million closed volume. What does the future look like for Jose Prats and Character Homes? Like, what does the ideal world look like for you 2-3 years from now? Where does the growth lie? Assuming that's what you want to do, which, knowing you, I'm quite confident that that's the case.
I know. Definitely to grow. I mean, I really measure my success not so much in sales volume or, I really truly am I'm bad at tracking it. I'm bad at having goals and numbers. You notice that? I really measure by what homes I'm working with, and it's the homes that inspire me, I've referenced it before, but I'm seeing one really special home tomorrow that I'm super excited for.
Yep.
Would love the opportunity to work with it. And that's how I measure my success, by working with high, homes I gravitate toward. It doesn't necessarily have to be a super high price point, but just unique, character rich, history. I love that in a home. Yeah.
So is there a particular, with that said, knowing that that's the inspiration, is there a particular area that you haven't gotten into that you want to get into? Whether it's geography or I don't know, is there an aspirational striving element to that? Or is it just like, hey, I'm always open to great, beautiful homes and they're going to end up gravitating toward me, I hope, in time as my following and my reputation continues to grow and expand?
Of course, yeah. There's certain homes that are on my list. I would love to sell, right? And just some iconic homes. There's not. It's just, I guess it's not super specific all the time, but just kind of just growing and working with those homes I love.
I want to take apart that $5 million listing a little bit, not because it's a $5 million listing, because it's an outlier in that area. So it's a bigger house in an area that doesn't necessarily have or kind of houses, right? And so this is a house that is a $5 million house in a market that is topped out at what? 3, 2.5, 2.
Yeah.
2. It's $3 million more than any of the other houses that's sold in this houses. There's a couple pieces to that. It's not going to be judged. They're never going to judge it against the other houses.
Right.
The question then becomes what's special about this house, and what is your strategy in promoting this house to the person who's going to love it, regardless of the area that it's in.
Yeah, I love the challenge too in doing that, and I love we're able to showcase that our following is real, right? And that we can, when we promote something and it's of amazing caliber, we're the best place for it to be shown.
There's results
that
come along with it.
So I love that aspect of working with a home like that. And again, it's a home that's really interesting to me and something that I can really get excited for.
So what would be your strategy in getting the information to that outlier buyer, right? Because it's a special buyer who's going to desire to have that house. It's an emotional purchase. It's not a strategic purchase, or, well, might be if they're a collector of homes of high caliber, right?
Yeah, using our unique tools we have, which is we have the ability to get information and content in front of people for longer periods of time than anyone else. Most people have 1 or 2 seconds. Yeah. So we have the liberty with our channels, especially YouTube, of doing that longer form and getting everyone to see every aspect, the amazing aspect of all these homes, and how there's so many that I need 30 minutes, sometimes an hour to tell you about it. So it's that ability to, I guess, create content that tells a story.
Sure.
And the story that's going to be seen by a lot of people.
Have you amassed a database that you can go into and kind of promote the home to these
unique buyer pool?
This buyer pool who has a passion for these types of houses.
Yeah, we have a pretty sizable database of emails, phone numbers, where we're going to blast our listing out.
To people who've raised their hand in essence to say, hey, I'm really interested and passionate about homes with a lot of character.
Right? Yeah, we have that list too. Yeah, we definitely have that. But what's crazy about the algorithm and how we built it organically is that when we put it out there, it's amazing at finding the right person.
People.
It's crazy. I'm always shocked. I like how powerful. Yeah. But we don't rely just on that. Obviously, we have our list, but it's just amazing to see that.
Yeah, of course. I started, clicking on a lot of Jose's content, and now I get served up Jose's content on YouTube, on Instagram.
Really?
Oh yeah. You're every 5th post or every 10th post or something like that.
It's like a virus. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, right.
What's that?
It's like a virus. You gotta be careful.
Are you intentional about, especially homes like that, particularly unique within the unique? Do you brand, when you're marketing those homes, are you intentional about branding the home?
Yeah, I guess we do we're very intentional with the content and how it's done for each home. So a lot of times it could be visually, it's a visual branding amongst the home. Each time we post it, like how it's shot or the color of the video, whatever. The audio we're using with each home, sure, it could be similar for the home. Really depends.
Property websites. I mean, is that pretty common?
We have them and we leave them on. That's very helpful to get them to our website from social media.
Yep.
Because we get a lot of traffic from there, and sometimes we'll get people booking showings from there.
Yep.
So it does help because you get more information. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I lost what said.
What's the branding? Branding, branding is a broad term. Are you intentional about branding your listings and really like
right now I have one in Westchester. So we're listed just at $4 million. It's really high price. It's a higher price point for that square footage.
Sure.
But it's built to an amazing quality. We did an hour-long video with the owner walking through the house, detailing everything that it has. Yeah. Because it really is amazing how he did this much in this home. We're getting people on there saying like, wow, I've never seen the quality of this home at this price.
Yeah.
There's an appetite for an hour of programming around one house.
Yeah. 24,000 views, and it's getting, hundreds of views each day. It keeps going up and up and up.
Wow.
You know what I mean? People are really, really liking it.
And you can see how long they're watching too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. YouTube's great with the information it gives them.
Yeah.
It's information overload. It's amazing. But that's the brand on that house, right?
Right. Is telling its story, its unique story. That's part of branding. Yep.
How amazing is this quality? You usually only get in $10, $20 million plus homes.
Yeah.
And it's only $4 million.
Right.
And I know
it's only $4 million.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
But see, there is each home has its story to tell. And I guess that is its brand, right? We create for it. Yeah.
And your eye towards seeing that with the level of experience and passion you have is part of the whole value proposition.
Brings you back to when I was flipping homes, right? And seeing them, I'm like, I was, when I walked home the first time, I'm like, oh my God, it's homes. I never say this word. Like 2 words you usually hear me avoid are dream home and perfect, right? Because it's rare. Those exist, right?
Yeah.
And I purposely don't overuse them because I get
subjective.
Super annoyed. But this one was literally perfect. It's like I've never seen the level of detail is insane.
Yeah. And your point, which I just want to reiterate, that you have built homes, flipped homes, and you have that eye toward, infrastructure and quality and knowing what it takes to create a product like that. And many, many agents, the vast majority do not. So that's part of your unique value proposition. Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So again, it's one of many things, right? I try to build my brand on what I know. Super important, but purposeful, right? And along the way, I've purposely accrued this knowledge. Yeah.
Yep.
No, it deepens your integrity around the conversation, right? It makes you more believable and trustworthy in all of those conversations that you actually applied mud to the, to the wall, right? And sanded it and did the grunt work to get achieve.
And that's what I like about YouTube because it's really testing.
You can learn anything.
Well, because those comments are brutal.
Oh yeah.
People tell you every time you make a mistake, and I love it because I'm learning.
Yeah.
And they want, they're just correcting you on what architectural terms is the big one.
Yeah.
And just not missing things, or if I repeat too many words, I repeat the word here a lot, apparently.
Okay.
I hear people in the comments.
Right.
So I try to, I'm always improving, right? It's great.
Of course. Feedback is the breakfast of champions, as I always say. And a lot of people just shy away from it because they don't want that constructive feedback and that accountability. But that's the best way to grow and evolve.
I know. That's what I love about it. Because I almost at a certain point, I love Instagram, but I wasn't feeling like I'm getting that
level of feedback. Yeah.
Is all because it's now a lot of followers that love what I do.
Yeah.
So it's great to see on,
it's an
on
echo
YouTube.
chamber a little bit.
Yeah. I'm reaching new people.
Yeah.
And they're telling me hey, no, you're not 100%.
Yeah. So that's great. That's a great perspective even for myself because I'm not on YouTube. So I need to be on it.
I'm mostly on YouTube.
And it's also searchable. So it's got a lot more.
It's cool.
Insight.
My neighbors that are 80 years old, they're they went from not knowing what they know I do real estate, but they didn't know much. And now they're like, I'm on their TV every day.
I know him. That's cool. So they're learning about real estate through their relationship with you.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I found out 80% of my traffic, or no, is it like 89%? Some crazy number is through TV on YouTube. That's how people take it in. Isn't that funny?
Wow.
I thought it was always like computers, the higher percentage.
Right.
It's TV. People are using the YouTube TV.
You watch YouTube on TV? I do it all the time.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just prefer it. I get to choose the subject matter that I want.
I've never done that. So,
I haven't either. Yeah. Do you? I'm curious. Do you have the subscription where you have no ads?
No, I have ads.
Oh, you have ads? Okay, cool. And you still don't mind it?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Because you're picking what you want and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could use a break every once in a while.
Yeah.
you gotta break the spell.
Well, do you get like stream paralysis where you finish a show and then you're endlessly searching?
Yes.
And then you fall asleep because you never.
That's why I go to YouTube. That's why I go to YouTube, because there's nothing I can watch or want to watch in the thousands of offerings of most streaming services.
I think that's what's going on. I think they're lower quality on streaming services. So maybe YouTube's just picking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yep. Is there anyone, because per what we talked about earlier, you model, and we're all believers in modeling others that have done what you aspire to do, at least in some form. Is there people now that you've gotten to the level of success you have? Are there people in real estate that you still model and emulate?
Ooh, I still model and emulate. That's a good question. There was before, then I met them. No, I'm joking.
We've all been there.
Yeah, no, just joking. I don't know. I find myself looking at a lot of smaller creators that have like newer audiences that are doing interesting stuff.
Not necessarily in real estate or in real estate.
Sometimes both. Sometimes real estate, sometimes not.
Okay.
The names are not coming to mind right now, but I'm always looking, because again, when I started on Instagram, a big starting point I recommend everyone looking to get into it or improve their account is to audit the competition. Look what's working, right? How is it working?
Yep.
What are they doing?
Yep.
And then most importantly, what are they not doing? Is it something unique to you? And then make that your thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is like just a great way of looking at it. I think any business, right?
Always study your. Oh, my chair up. Yeah. falling down the ground. Study your competition. There's so much to learn from your competition. I always say that, and take what you can learn and apply it to your own unique journey. I always consider myself my competitor. I don't compete with others. However, I'm very purposeful about seeing what my competition is doing and taking that and applying it to my own unique journey.
Yeah. And yes, it could be competition. It's also what is just successful people. Who's succeeding at what I want to succeed at, and what can I learn from them, and what can I take from them? You know, the bottom line is what it comes down to.
Yep.
I have a question about support. Like, what does your production team look like? You know, you're seeing such a value in social media. You're pouring into it in a big way. You're seeing the results. Who's there to, you know, are you doing all the content, all the editing, all the posting, or do you have some support?
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, my wife has been there the whole way.
Excellent.
So yeah, my wife is doing, she's helping me on social. She's a social media manager, all the accounts. Yeah. So posting, editing, you know, I'm there on the comments and DMs. Yeah. But she's there and making sure everything's getting scheduled and posted at the right time, and that our strategy is right.
No, it's important.
Yeah, because it's its own thing, right? Yes. It's a full-time job, especially the amount that we put out. You know, it's a lot. You know, we're posting Instagram every day, sometimes multiple times a day. TikTok too, and then YouTube. Right now we're doing once a week, but we're ramping up and batching content to be doing twice a week. Because we did testing where we did twice a week, and we were doubling, tripling our numbers. It's just really hard to keep up with, right?
Sure.
YouTube
you have all that past content though.
Yeah. Well, it's different, right? So YouTube is wide. Yep. Everything's shot wide.
Landscape.
First
portrait.
Yeah. And everything we have is portrait, right? And also we're making, you know, we can put our shorts on there. Yes. We do that, right? We use it on YouTube, but I'm talking about the long form specifically.
Gotcha.
When we're doing twice a week, it's crazy how much bigger it does. So once we get that going, the twice a week, it's going to be
The large format.
it's going to go pretty nuts. So
That's phenomenal.
we're excited for that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, but that's what I love about social media. You can always change it up, do more things. And
It always presents a new challenge.
yes, exactly.
It's inspiring to see
What you
someone
like.
that intentional and that purposeful and actually generating business on
Yeah.
social media. Because, look,
It's an anomaly.
it's a free tool that is only becoming more and more, prevalent. And to not use it and leverage it, I always tell agents, is just not all that smart. And with that said, I always come back to social media does not replace the relationship. It does not replace the ability to deliver value and help negotiate and all that. But what it does do, in your case in point, is it amplifies reality.
Yeah.
Right. It does not replace the relationship, but it does significantly amplify it. And for someone like you, it can be the igniter to the relationship, which is rare to find. It has been a huge.
Yeah.
I've
It's
never
rare to
seen
find
someone
people.
as successful at doing that as Jose.
I
Honestly,
agree.
No,
And we have,
yes.
when we can speak from thousands of agents.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Never seen anyone convert to actual business. So if you're interested, study.
Yeah, I tell people,
Study Jose.
That's what I did. I audited what people do. Just do that, see what I'm doing. Maybe you can emulate. And I give people tips all the time.
Right.
But the thing is, there's not one tip. There's about 1,000.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like you have to always, be
Some of those things come natural. Some of them are contrived.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Love it. Should we move
let's
to
go.
the fire round? So I've highlighted what I'm going to.
Which one? Okay, get in there.
Do you want to kick us off?
All right.
oh man, I just
So we're going to do a fire round, and we're just going to ask quick, simple questions, and the design is to be quick and simple back.
So do I have a capped amount of words or no?
No.
Okay.
I tell you,
Yeah.
it's about a immediate response,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. It's a
nugget.
visceral
It's a nugget.
response. Yeah.
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 I'll give you an easy one. When and where are you the happiest?
Ooh, when we're the happiest with the family. Yeah, that's easy.
What's the best compliment you've ever received?
Best compliment I ever received. When Joey said I was one of the better agents to convert on social media. Yeah, that's a
Not
big
one of
compliment.
the better, the best.
See, that's a big compliment.
You have the best conversion of anyone that I've come in contact with in the real estate sector.
That's one of them. And then one of them was my literal rock star client said his agent said I was the Spanish king.
Okay. Wow. Love it. That's phenomenal, bro.
That was awesome.
Yep.
That was a good one.
If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
If I could change one thing about myself, oh my gosh. I don't know. I feel like I'd be a better speaker. I don't know. I feel like I'm always tripping over my words, but
There's
That's a skill
always
you
room
can
for
develop.
improvement for all of us. I'm super
and that's what,
conscious.
again, YouTube's helping me. People are giving
Absolutely.
me vocabulary.
What's the
stop saying here. Sorry.
What's the attribute you most admire in others?
That's a good question. Just in general, like it could be an attribute I share. Doesn't necessarily have to be okay. Attribute I admire in others. I mean, people that are true to my word, because I'm very true to my word, and I think it's super valuable in people, right? When they do,
Love it.
Yeah,
It's credibility.
Sure.
Yep.
I'm not surprised about that.
Yep.
What's your most treasured possession?
Most treasured possession. Oh my gosh, this is a good question. Treasured possession. Ooh. Is it weird if I say my phone? I don't know. I feel
That's actually a good one. I'm actually making it with you.
I wouldn't tell your wife or kids. that.
Oh, yeah.
Sir.
Well, but humans can't be possessions, right?
No, but
Sorry, I took that as an object.
Right.
it is an object.
Yeah.
It is an
Yeah.
object.
That's a good one.
a
Phone. I have not
possession.
heard that.
Whoa,
Yeah.
I mean, content, do business.
Oh, I
my
can
gosh.
relate.
Talk with my family on there. There you go.
But you replace it every 2 or 3 years.
I know every year.
Every year.
Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go. There you
I
go.
want the latest phone, best
Yep.
camera.
There
Come
you
on,
go.
that's my
What's
secret.
your greatest achievement?
greatest achievement? I feel like creating the family. My wife and I have created. It's the greatest achievement. Yeah,
It
Very
is.
cool.
yeah.
Yep.
It is.
Yep.
2 girls, 11 and 12. We got Bruno, our dog, and then we just got Mochi, kitten.
That's awesome, man.
You get your money's worth
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah.
They
2 of them right there.
deserve
Yeah,
it.
they're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite childhood memory?
Favorite childhood memory. Ooh, it's a good one. Favorite childhood memory. I used to be a big baseball fan. I don't know. I feel like I was meeting Ivan Rodriguez, the catcher from the Rangers. You'd be a big fan.
Wow, that's obscure.
Yeah, I know. Really random. I was a catcher because of him, and then I met him after a game.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah,
man.
it was really, really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you go on this amazing hike and you're going up a big hill, and you get to the top and you look down. It's your friends, your family, your colleagues, people you really care about. And you yell down to them what?
So some amazing hike.
You're on an amazing hike. You ascend to the top of this hill, and at the bottom, you can look down and all your friends, your family, the people that you really love and are closest with. What do you say to them?
It's not lightweight.
I know, right?
Or it is.
I guess, why am I talking to him?
Because
Right?
you're at the top, and they're
top.
looking up, and what are you going to say to them? They're waiting for you to say something. You're at the top of the hill.
You've accomplished
Something like crazy. I'm like, I don't know. I guess don't give up, right? Keep climbing the mountain.
There you go.
Love it, man.
It's a nugget of advice.
Yeah.
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 It's a nugget of advice.
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
right,
Yeah.
Love your authenticity, your passion, and ultimately, I'm a big believer in just consistency, and authenticity and passion drive that. And what you've
Everything.
achieved and how you've gone about doing it is so inspiring and admirable.
We're
and
both
thank
fans.
you. Yeah, majorly.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Love
Thanks
it,
for having
brother.
me.
Of course.
All right.
Good stuff.